Good morning, Year 2, and welcome back to your online home learning. I'm here to join you this morning for us to do some maths together. So I'm going to share my screen and we can get going straight away. Okay, now hopefully you got on okay with your learning yesterday of practicing the 2 times table. Today we're going to be continuing with something very similar. We're going to be practicing our 5 times table. Okay, so we're going to warm up our brains by doing a bit of counting. Now, as you can see, I've got 100 square on my screen. If you would like to create your own 100 square, then you could find one on the internet to get up on the screen, or you might want to print one off. So we're going to start off by counting forwards and backwards in twos. We're going to count from 0 to 40. So counting forwards and backwards, that's a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, you may want to circle or to highlight the multiples of 2 as you do this to help you. Okay, and once you've done the counting in twos, I want you to have a go at counting forwards and then backwards in 5s from 0 to 50. Okay, pause the video here and have a little go, and we'll count together in a moment. Okay, so let's start off by counting in twos. So remember, we need to say the number 0. The number 0 isn't on this 100 square. Just say that word 0 before you start. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. Now let's have a go at counting backwards. Okay, so starting at 40, going back to 0. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 40, 38, 36, 34, 32, 30, 28, 26, 24, 22, 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 0. Well done if you were able to keep up with me counting in twos, forwards and backwards. Let's try our counting in 5s this time. Okay, so from 0 up to 50. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, now we're going to challenge ourselves to count backwards. Okay, with me. 1, 2, 3. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and 0. Okay, well done. Hopefully your brains are nice and warm for us to get started. Okay, so we've had a little chat already about what we learned to do last lesson. We were learning to find the multiples of 2 and learning to practice our 2 times table. So today we're going to be doing exactly the same, but revisiting our 5 times table. So first of all, I want you to have a look at this 100 square on the screen, or have a look at your own, and I want you to try and find the multiples of 5. What are the multiples of 5? So what are the numbers we say when we're counting up in 5s? Pause the video here and just have a little think. And also, can you notice a pattern with those multiples? Maybe what do the numbers end in? Okay, have a little go at doing that now. Okay, so we're going to start off by circling the multiples of 5. I'm just going to do the first few multiples and then we'll start to see a pattern. So the first multiple is 5, then we go to 10, then we jump to 15, then we jump to 20, and so on. Hopefully you can start to see a pattern now. Okay, so I wonder, what is the ones beneath these numbers? What do these multiples of 5 end in? Okay, so as you can see here, all of these numbers down this column, they all have 5 at the end of them. So they all end they all have the ones digit 5. Look at these numbers here. These are all multiples of 10. So these all have the ones digit 0. Okay, so multiples of 5 always end in a 5 or a 0. Okay, and that is the main pattern of multiples of 5. It's fantastic. You were able to spot any more patterns. Okay, so let's have a look at this picture then to get us started. So we've got some flowers, and each flower, notice how many petals each flower has. Okay, and we want to find out how many petals there are altogether. How many are there in total? So you need to count in 5s to calculate how many petals there are altogether. I'd like to see you writing a multiplication number sentence for this. So looking at how many lots of 5 we have, or how many groups of 5 we have. So looking at the flowers here, this first flower would be one group of 5. So I can see there are 5 petals. So one flower is one group of 5. So how many groups of 5 are there? And then count up in 5s to find your total. Okay. Hopefully you've had a bit of time now to write your multiplication number sentence and to count the total. Okay, so our multiplication number sentence would be 4 multiplied by 5, because we count our groups, 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, and there's 5 in each group. So 4 groups of 5. Let's count in 5s to find the total. 5, 10, 15, 20. There are 20 petals altogether. Now, as a challenge, now this is another really quite tricky thing to think about. So if there are 30 petals, how many flowers are there? So as thinking about now, we've been given the answer. So the answer is 30. How many flowers are there? So the way we need to do this is we need to count up in 5s until we get to 30 and see how many groups of 5 there are in 30. So how many 5s go into 30? Pause the video here and just have a little go at that challenge for me. Okay, let's try together then. So we're going to count up in 5s until we get to 30 and see how many 5s there are. Okay, so we'll count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So hopefully you've been using your fingers with me. I have got 6 fingers. So that means 6 groups of 5 go into 30. So 6 multiplied by 5 equals 30. Okay. Let's have another little go. So this is the same as the challenge X we were just looking at. So there are 35 fingers. So 35 is our answer, as you can see in this number sentence here. But we want to know how many hands there are. Okay, so first of all, think about how many fingers are there on a hand. There's a picture of a hand here to give you a little bit of help. So we've got 5 fingers on one hand. So how many hands would there be if there were 35 fingers? So again, count up in 5s until you get to 35 and see how many fingers are showing. And that would be your number sentence. Okay, let's try that together then. Let's count up in 5s using our fingers. So 1 finger for each multiple. And hopefully we'll see how many groups of 5 go into 35. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I have 7 fingers showing. Hopefully you do too. So our number sentence would be 7 multiplied by 5 equals 35. Okay. We've got some number tracks here to complete, just to practice that counting in 5s. So I want you to have a go now, pausing the video, write down each of these sequences, filling in the missing gaps. If you've got your 100 square there, you could use that to help you looking at the multiples. Okay. Okay, hopefully you've had some time now to look through these number tracks and to fill in those missing spaces. I'm going to go through the answers with you now so you can go through and check you've got the answers right. Okay, so 5, 10, 15 was our missing blank here, and 25 at the end there. Our second sequence, 40 and 50 were the missing numbers, and our final sequence, 75 and 85 were the missing numbers. Okay, so finally then, let's move on to our practice. Now, we had another question like this a couple of lessons ago. So practicing using those symbols, so the greater than symbol, the less than symbol, and the equal sign. Remember that the crocodile eats the greatest number. Okay, so look at each side then. So we have 2 multiplied by 5, 5 multiplied by 2. Here we have 3 multiplied by 2, 4 multiplied by 5, and then 10 multiplied by 5, 5 multiplied by 5. So have a go. I want you to draw the symbol in between each of these statements, and I want you to try and compare them to see which statement, which side is greater. Or maybe they're equal, maybe they equal the same thing. Once you've done that as a challenge, our challenge X is, can you create your own comparison question using multiplication number sentences? So can you complete your own one of these? Maybe you can get one of your family to have a go at answering it, or if not, you can answer it yourself. Okay, pause the video here and have a go through those challenges. Okay, so hopefully you've had some time now to have a go at that practice question. So looking at the answers then, the first one, we'd need the equal sign because those are showing us commutative number sentences. 2 multiplied by 5 and 5 multiplied by 2 both equal 10. They've just been switched around the other way. Now this one here, 3 multiplied by 2, 4 multiplied by 5, 4 multiplied by 5 would be greater because it equals 20, whereas 3 multiplied by 2 only equals 6. Now looking here, 10 multiplied by 5 would be greater because 10 groups of 5 is greater than 5 groups of 5. Okay. Well done, and well done if you managed to create your own comparison question. Okay, so finally then, looking at our challenge. Now this challenge is the same as your challenge yesterday, but this time you're focusing on multiplication number sentences using multiples of 5. So for each number sentence, I want you to draw a pictorial representation to help you solve each of these number sentences. So for 2 groups of 5, I want you to draw 2 groups of 5. So for example, over here, I might draw that's 1 group of 5, and then another group of 5 over here. Now, if you wanted to, you might want to draw an array. So 2 rows of 5 in an array, whichever you found easier, drawing an array or drawing a picture to help you find the answers to each of these. Okay, so that's what I want you to do for your challenge. Now, as your challenge expert today, I'm going to read the question to you. Tubes of tennis balls come in packs of 2 and 5. Whitney has 22 tubes of balls. How many of each pack could she have? So how many packs of 2 could she have to have 22 tubes? How many packs of 5 could she have to have 22 tubes? Okay, so do them separately. So looking at how many packs of 2 in 22, how many packs of 5 in 22, and there might be some left over. So your questions are, how many of each pack could she have? How many ways can you do it? Maybe you can try and think of another way you could do that. Okay, so make sure you have a go at answering that before I show you the answer now. I'm going to share the answer with you now, okay? So the options are, you could have 4 packs of 5 and 1 pack of 2. So 4 packs of 5 would make 22 20 tubes, and then the pack of 2 would make the 22. You could have 11 packs of 2 and no packs of 5, or you could have 2 packs of 5, which would make 10, and 6 packs of 2, which would make 12. So 10 and 12 would make the 22. Okay, so it is a mixture of the 5 and the 2 together, rather than separate. Okay, so finally then, for your fluency to end our maths for today, your number sentence is 54 subtract 6. And I want you to see how many ways you can show your workings out here. Pause the video now and we'll go through the answer in a moment. Okay, so 54 subtract 6. Our answer to this would be 48. So well done if that was the answer that you found as well. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me for our maths learning today, Year 2. I hope you have a really fantastic afternoon, and I'll see you again in the morning for some more morning fluency. Goodbye for now.